go into the real down into it, because we're talking about this and I hear that and I go, yeah, of course we want to do that. But the danger, of course, and you mentioned this in the book, is tokenism. This idea of just having the person that's there is just, oh, we're doing that, we're patting ourselves on the back. I know, having pastored a church like that, other churches around they wanted to be friends because they wanted that aspect. There was an exotic nature to it. There was this idea of a dynamic, but there is tokenism as opposed to just real value. And I don't know what the opposing term is. I'm going to throw that out there. Maybe you have a better term for me. But what we always tried to do as a church was, we wanted people to be, if there was a group within our church, we wanted our leadership to be representative of that, whoever was in the church and in the community. If our community is diverse, our church should be diverse. If our church is diverse, our leadership team should be diverse. We need to make sure that we do that. How do we go beyond, if we are trying to do multi-ethnic, let's say, and we can put aside just the ethnic for a minute, because I know we talk about ethnic specific churches. How do we go about doing that without being token? Any thoughts on that?
There is a way that when there's no relationship, like no deep, like there's, you're not an ecclesia, like,
Not
you know,
koinonia, that deep fellowship.
you're not together, you're not one church. There's this feeling that I got to put this person up there as a way of attracting. It's like attractional church model, all of that stuff. So like, let's say Sunday morning, like this happened to a lot of our friends, right? Like they were great musicians, great artists, whatever. And it really made the band or the stage look diverse, because you got this, I don't know, East Asian electric guitar player, right? And he's really good at what he does. But when Sunday services are over, he's not being invited to hang out or go grab food or whatever. It was like there was already a group. You were just added to make us look a certain way, you know? So when there's no relationship to that representation, that's definitely, you're heading down the road of tokenism, right? I would also say, when there's not a sense of like reciprocity, like if you put them up there to represent and they have a word that things need to change, and it's like, well, we need you to change and be this kind of leader for our church in order to get you up onto the stage. So I don't know, I would say most Asian Americans would do their best to do that. But once they get to that place of leadership and they realize, yo, that I might be willing to do that, but you're not going to get more Asian Americans to the table by going through all those hoops. And so the reciprocity is to hear from that person and to allow systemic change to be able to happen in your church, so that you can have a wider door and a more deeper bench and more gifts at the table from the Asian American community by learning from that individual. If you're saying, no, you made it through all these hoops to get here, everybody else should too, there's no reciprocity there. That person is now a token, you know? So, so yeah, if there's no relationship and no sense of like, I'm learning and like, we got to figure this out, because like I said, it was probably really exhausting for that person to finally get to a place of like leadership or a seen or visible leadership at your church. But I'm telling you, most people won't want to do that. You should look at that trailblazer and ask for help to fix the system. And when that doesn't happen, it's a token. Yeah.
Sabrina,
Those are some, there's more, but I mean, that's just some idea.
No, I understand. This is, I mean, we could go on it. You can write a whole book just about that alone, Linson. You can just do that alone. Sabrina, what do you want to say to that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I appreciate what you're saying, Linson. I think that's right on. I also think there's something about, this is gonna be different for different people, and you'd want to find out what's meaningful for different communities and different people. But I think it is also exhausting to always go onto the majority turf.
Yeah.
And so I think tokenism was when you're always requiring that too, and never going the other direction and sort of saying, oh, can I, is there a way to learn from your community, or, it appropriately, right? Like, you don't want to like just crash events and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, but there's something about doing your own learning, right? That communicates that this isn't just about tokenism.